Let me tell you how I turned the tables on a woman who thought my farm was her playground. No, really. Imagine waking up, coffee still hot in your hand, and watching a pink Range Rover bouncing through your field, corn stalks snapping like toothpicks. All because the new HOA president next door figures the rules don't apply to her. I'm Hank Jordan, and I don't go looking for trouble, but I sure as hell finish it when it finds me. See, my wife Pam and I, we keep to ourselves. We don't throw parties. We don't gossip over the fence. Our motto's simple. You stay on your side, we'll stay on ours. That's how it worked, at least until whispering pines sprouted up next door. Every house the color of overcooked oatmeal. Every neighbor looking over their shoulder, and Karen Tillman running the show like she invented property rights. First time she plowed through my corn, I figured, hey, maybe she's lost. Maybe her GPS went haywire. You try to give folks the benefit of the doubt, you know? But when it's every Tuesday and Thursday, 4 o'clock sharp, and she's cutting corners through my field, dust cloud trailing, corn stalks mashed, well, that's not an accident. That's a woman making a point. And Pam, she catches everything. She just shook her head from the kitchen window and muttered, "That woman thinks the world's her doormat." I had to laugh. Only, it wasn't funny for long. So first step, signs. 4 of M, bright red, white letters, clear as a slap in the face. No trespassing. Crop damage is a felony. Please and thank you. I planted those signs in concrete, like little legal lighthouses, thinking surely this would end it. But no. Next time Karen comes barreling up, she rolls down her window, reads the sign, and laughs, loud and sharp, then guns it, making a wider mess than ever. Like she was daring me to do something. Like she was letting me know this was her world now, and I was just living in it. Let me back up a sec. When you're a farmer, your field isn't just dirt and plants. It's sweat, it's history, it's your kid's college fund and your retirement all rolled into one. You mess with a man's field, you're not just costing him money, you're poking at something deep. Pam, she's the brains in our operation. She's got property lines and county maps memorized like scripture. Look here, she told me, spinning her laptop around. That's our line. What she's doing is illegal, plain and simple. And I knew she was right. But I also knew, folks like Karen don't stop unless you make them. So, next move, a gravel lane, 8 feet wide, heavy enough to make even a Range Rover think twice. I carved it out myself, right on the edge of my property, then posted a new sign, farm vehicle crossing. Gave her a way out, a chance to save face, and maybe I could have let it go if she'd just played along. But Karen? She saw that as a challenge. Next morning, fresh tire tracks veering off the gravel, right through my corn, deep enough to break your heart. She'd made it personal. Now, I'll admit, my first thought was a gate. Big, steel, padlock thick as my wrist. But Pam, always one step ahead, called the county. There's an old easement on the books, emergency access, meant for farm equipment in the 70s. We can't block it outright, not without risking a fine. So here's Karen, gaming the system, trespassing and laughing, and the law's just loose enough to let her do it. I was ready to dump manure on her driveway and call it a day, but Pam, she's got a head for strategy. He didn't say you can't reasonably discourage it, she pointed out. That got the gears turning. And right on cue, the forecast promised a real soaker, 3 inches of rain. You know what I mean? I pulled on my rain gear, fired up the John Deere, and went out to reshape the field. Not a trench, not a booby trap, just a little creative drainage. A shallow channel, a swale, right where Karen loved to cut through. Perfectly legal, perfectly muddy. By dawn, it was a pit of black soup. Pam set up the trail camera. We had front row seats. And wouldn't you know it, 4 o'clock sharp, pink Range Rover at the curb, Karen at the wheel, scowling at my rocks and gravel path. She picks the open field. Within seconds, she's buried to the axles, wheels spinning, mud flying, her fancy sneakers lost to the muck. Pam was howling, tears running down her face. This is better than TV. Of course, the real circus starts when Bubba's 24-hour recovery rolls in. Picture a tow truck cobbled together out of old beer cans and stubbornness, driven by a guy whose shirt could barely contain him. I told him, use the gravel lane, it'll hold. Bubba just grunts. You think I'm driving this rig down a garden path? And heads straight into the field, sinking faster than a stone. He rips up corn, cracks my irrigation pipe, water geysering everywhere. That was it, the last straw. I ran up, yelling, and he shoved me, hard, right into the mud. Lying there, grit in my teeth, everything crystallized. I got up, pipe wrench in hand. Never meant as a weapon, but in a fight, you use what you've got. Bubba wasn't expecting pushback. We went at it, slipping and sliding, two angry men in a pit of our own making. He got me in a headlock, but I broke free with a jab of the wrench, and we were circling, both breathing hard, when the sheriff's deputies pulled up, lights flashing, siren cutting through the storm. Deputy Miller took one look at us, sighed like a man who'd seen this show before, and said, "Everyone, just stay put." Pam marched up with her tablet and trail cam footage, Karen's car, the signs, the whole mess on video. Miller watched, asked his questions, and before long, Bubba's in cuffs for assault and criminal mischief, and Karen's slapped with a trespass citation. The look on her face, pure shock, like she couldn't believe the world finally said no. Next day, my field looked like a war zone. Ruts, busted irrigation, corn shredded. Felt like I'd lost. But Pam, ever practical, handed me a clipboard. Let's document. Let's make a case so solid a blind judge could see it. We measured, photographed, tallied up every dollar of damage. She called a soil scientist to check for contamination, kept receipts, built a binder that would make a lawyer weep with envy. And here's where the real twist comes in. Karen calls a special HOA meeting, claims I'm a menace, that I set a trap for her. It's all about her. The clubhouse is packed, neighbors hungry for drama. Pam stands up, projects the trail cam footage, the property lines, the signs, the gravel lane. Karen's smirk disappears. And then, one neighbor after another stands up, tired of fines for garden gnomes, for barking dogs, for recycling bins left out an hour too long. The board caves, the applause rolls, and Karen's empire crumbles right in front of her. Insurance adjuster comes out, watches the footage, and just shakes his head. That's intentional off-road trespass. We're denying her claim. It's music to my ears. Small claims court. Pam hands the judge our binder. Karen tries her same old speech, but the judge isn't buying. You have presented me with a story. The Jordans have presented me with a mountain of evidence. Verdict: full damages, every penny. Karen pays. We fix the field, build a gate, big, solid, with a cattle guard. County signs off. Karen moves out before summer's done. I walk that field now, fresh topsoil healing the scars, new seed sprouting. The gate stands strong, a quiet line in the dirt. This is where order begins. I look at Pam, the architect behind it all, and feel that peace you only get when you know you fought for what's right and won. And as for Karen, her story's a warning now, a lesson whispered through the pines. Don't mess with the boundary, unless you're ready to meet the fence. But let's be honest, folks, was it petty? Maybe. Was it satisfying? Oh, you bet. Sometimes the mud answers back louder than words ever could. So what do you think? Was I right to fight back this way? Or did we all just get stuck in the mud together? Drop a comment. Let's talk about what justice looks like where you live, and what you'd do if it was your land on the line.